I was really excited when we learned that Bryan Singer was returning to the X-Men franchise, directing Days of Future Past and Apocalypse. His X2, X-Men United, and Days of Future Past are arguably the standouts from the franchises, both shining examples of great storytelling. At the end of X2, we see Jean transform into the Phoenix, and we're thrilled that the third entry would deliver another epic installment, focusing on her return, destruction, and going to war with everyone, including the X-Men. However, Bryan Singer chose to direct Superman Returns, as the studio wanted a third X-Men movie delivered around the same time, so it was given to Brett Ratner. Simon Kinberg wrote X-Men The Last Stand, and while Ratner delivered an entertaining movie, it certainly didn't deliver on the Phoenix storyline. Seems like they didn't know what to do with Jean. She had very little dialogue. Even she couldn't explain her return to physical human form. There were some intense moments, but nothing got the chance to breathe, like the emotional moments throughout X2. It was shot like a blockbuster, but seemed rushed, which is odd since the movie clocks in around an hour and 40. So when Singer returned, I was hoping we'd finally get to see his take on the Phoenix saga, especially with the glimpse at Jean's unleashed powers at the end of Apocalypse. But that scene was so powerful, her defeating the mutant himself, that I also considered maybe that was good enough for Singer. Maybe he never wanted to make a movie focusing on her as the Phoenix, taking on her fellow mutants. And due to some public controversies, Bryan wasn't given Dark Phoenix, which went to X3 writer Simon Kinberg, who not only wrote it, but was brought on as director. So we get a second take on the Phoenix storyline from him, and get to see his directorial debut. But just like The Last Stand, Jean's Phoenix storyline isn't the main focus. Instead, we're introduced to a race from out of this world called the Debari, who track down Jean to retrieve the power she's absorbed. In X3, we have the Cure storyline, which places Jean on the sidelines. Neither attempt hit the 2-hour runtime, so why pack in subplots? I wonder if Simon wasn't confident that the Phoenix saga could fill an entire movie, or if the studio or studios wanted more going on. I mean, I like both the Cure and Debari storylines, but why not use those in spin-offs, TV episodes, or future X-Men movies? Why bundle with what is supposed to be Jean Grey's story? Now, Jessica Chastain's portrayal of the Debari's leader, Vuk, could easily carry its own saga. She's a fantastic actress and gave a great performance in Dark Phoenix, but it took the spotlight away from Jean. I would still like to see a version from Bryan Singer. I'm not saying it would be better, but he could deliver something epic along the lines of X2 and Days of Future Past. He set everything up so wonderfully at the ends of X2 and Apocalypse. Everything has been revealed. Would you like to see Singer deliver another take on the Dark Phoenix saga? I remember when the DVD for The Last Stand came out, there were about 20 or so deleted scenes, which was downsized considerably soon after for future releases. And we learned Simon had to reshoot scenes for his installment, as test screenings were negative. I believe the entire third act was reshot. Point being, it seems Ratner and Kinberg weren't able to deliver exceptional results as they struggled with how to tell the story without getting lost in the mix. You have so many powerful characters, storylines, and you have your scheduling conflicts, studio involvement. But I still question who or whom is afraid to make Jean's Phoenix storyline the spotlight for at least one installment. I wonder if there are extended or director's cuts of both these movies. With those already mentioned deleted scenes from Ratner's attempt, plus who knows how much other footage we haven't seen, could there be cuts of these movies that would satisfy fans, as we get more screen time from characters we barely met, and let emotional scenes breathe? It certainly wasn't The Last Stand. As we learned, the Cure was only temporary, but nothing was at stake. The big finale took place on an island, so Jean's destruction didn't devastate even a chunk of the planet. What happened to those soldiers should have happened all around the world, with people being torn to bits, standing no chance. And in Dark Phoenix, the finale took place on a train and an abandoned area after they departed. Again, what's at stake? Jean was dangerous, but she never got us frightened with her abilities, what she's capable of. I think Famke and Sophie are both excellent in their roles. Great actresses. Unfortunately, the action and such didn't support those great performances. So, what would you like to see? Why didn't those movies work? Or did you like them, and why? I'd love to hear from you. And if you're listening on Anchor, leave a voice message if you'd like. On YouTube, leave some comments. I look forward to hearing from you.